Good morning, third grade, and I'm welcoming you to Wednesday, April 1st, and it is April Fool's Day. Um, and I am having a lot of trouble getting this video on, so I'm going to set a timer to make sure I don't go over again. And we're going to work our way through elapsed time in math. So I want everyone to have a couple pieces of paper out. I'm going to start my timer. And we're going to start by making a couple of things that are going to be very helpful to us. The first thing is a number line. And the second thing, we're going to draw a clock. So when we look at a clock, and this is called an analog clock, it looks like this. And we know that at the top of the clock, where we start, is 12. So I'm going to write in 12, just like that, and you do the same. Now, if I look at my clock, halfway around is the 6. Now, when we're counting in between, 1, 2, 3 comes right here between 12 and 6. And then we keep going, and across from 3 is 9. Now, I'm going to just fill in my other numbers, and you do the same. So now I have the hours on the clock, and I'm going to use that to help me solve a problem on elapsed time. Boys and girls, elapsed time is time that has passed, time that's gone by. So for instance, right now it's 10:30, and let's say that I'm going to eat lunch at 12:15. I want to know how long it's going to take until I can eat my lunch. So I'm getting real hungry, and I'm like, Faith used to come up and ask this a lot. What time is lunch? How long until lunch? Some other people were always hungry too. And I can look at the clock and I can figure out how many hours and how many minutes it is until it's time for lunch. So today we're going to be doing some elapsed time, and I want you to open your books. I've got all my things laid out here, so I'm looking a little confused, but page 573. Look at the top of the page where I'm reading the problem. Alicia and her family visited the Kennedy Space Center. They watched a movie that began at 4:10 p.m. and ended at 4:53 p.m. So that was an afternoon movie. How long did the movie last? We're going to circle our two times. Circle 4:10 p.m. and 4:53 p.m. and underline the question. The question is, how long did the movie last? So just like they've circled and underlined, I want you to do the same. Now, the first time that we solve this, we're going to use the number line. But I'm going to write those times on my paper so that I don't get mixed up. 4:10 to 4:53. 4:10 to 4:53. Okay, that'll remind me that I'm trying to find the time between 4:10 and 4:53. So when we're using our number line, if we look at the book, they started with 4:10, and then they went to 4:20. Well, that's a difference of 10 minutes. From here to here is 10 minutes. So let's make some more 10 spaces. So We're going 410 to 420. I'm going to go all the way to 450. 420, 430, 440, 450. Oh, there I am. I'm at 450, and I can't go 10 more because now it's 53. So I'm going to add some minutes. 51, 52, 53. Okay. So do you see how I added just minutes here? Now I'm going to count my time until I get to 453. Starting at 410, so it's 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, and I'm at 450. I need to go to 453. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. 43 minutes, and I can abbreviate minutes M-I-N. Okay, let's count it again. From 410, it's 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes to 450, 41, 42, 43 to 453. Now we can also find that on our clock, our analog clock. So I'm going to have my baby hand. Oh, that's my hour hand. He says it's 4, and you say, well, actually it's 4:10. You're the minute hand. So now my clock says 4:10. Now, where is 453? Let's start here, and we know there's 5 minutes in between each. So let's find where 453 would be. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53 would be right here. So that's where I want to go from here. Okay, so I found out where 453 is by starting at 12, but I'm going to start at 410. So now I'm going to count from here. And we're going to count by 5s because there's 5 minutes in between each number. So let's go ahead and count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43. 43 minutes. Two ways to find the same answer. And there's a third way, and it's using subtraction. When we subtract, we know that we always have to write the bigger number on top. So we're going to start with our ending time. 4:53, and we're going to write it like time, 4:53. And we're going to subtract our starting time, 4:10. Now, we have 3 and we take nothing away. So 3 take away 0 is 3. 5 take away 1. Let's see, I have 5 and I take 1 away. I have 4. And then I've got these dots. 4 take away 4. Well, there's nothing there. Oh, 43 minutes. 43 minutes. 3 ways to find elapsed time. So I want you to go in your books now to page 575 and practice a few of these. We'll do a couple together now before we run out of time on this, and then I'll be coming back with help on the assignment. So the first one says, use the number line to find the elapsed time. And they've drawn the number line for you. Now, right away they start with something that's a little different. I'm going to draw another number line here. Easy as that. There it is. You can just do it real quick on your own. And it says that we're going to find the time from 1:15 to 1:40. So I'm going to write that up here, 1:15 to 1:40. Now, I'm going to either start by counting by tens, or I could go 5 more minutes to 1:20. So this is how I would like to do it. I'm going to add 5 minutes to 1:15, and I'm at 1:20 now. Now I can just count by my tens until I get to 1:40. 1:30, 1:40. So these So did you end up with something that looks like this? I count my first 5 minutes so that then I can just go ahead and count my tens. And then I count by tens. Now I have to go back and count. 10, 20, 25 minutes is my answer. Now I could have done that like this. 1:15, 10 minutes to 1:25, 10 minutes to 1:35, and then I could add on my other 5 minutes. So here's my 10 minutes. I'd stop here. 1:40. And I know that that's 10, 20, 25. Both ways work. Whichever way works best for you. Let's look at number 2, or number 3. Start at 4:20 and end at 5. Here's my clock. 4:20. And I'm going to go all the way until I get to 5. Let's count the minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 minutes. Now you could do that on a clock that you've drawn as well and just make your marks. The timer is going off, so I need to stop, and I'm going to go on to the assignment, but you practice a few more of these.